Record. Hey everybody, welcome. Of course, I just hit record now. I have to call. I'm fine. I need to say that every time I cough now. Everything is fine. Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Adam Grossworth, NAMP's Member Services Director, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows the deal with these by now, but just to say it, you can see and hear us. We cannot see or hear you yet, but we would love to hear from you. We'll do Q&A at various points. So you should see at the bottom of your screen a raise hand button. If you want to just click that, if you have a question, you can do that at any time. And when we pause for questions, we will unmute you and you can ask your question live. You can also feel free to type in the chat box or the Q&A box and do that at any point. And then when we stop, we'll do that. I see some names in the on the list I don't know. We've been doing so many of these lately. If you are a NAMPT member and your email about this was forwarded to you by somebody in your organization and you're not on our list, if you want to put your name, job title, and email address in the chat for me, I'll make sure we get you in our system, get you a login into our website. I know that Emily and Betsy shared this with some folks as well. So if you're not a NAMPT member, welcome. We're thrilled that you're here, but I can't do that for you. So hi and welcome, and happy to have you, NAMPT member or not. We already have something in the Q&A. Is it someone telling me, should I be able to see more than one person speaking? No, not yet. I'm the only one speaking. There is a button if you're on a computer at the top right where you can change your view so you can see all of us. Otherwise, it will automatically go to whoever's talking. If you're on a mobile device, you can swipe and do that. I'm going to stop talking really soon, though, so I'll go away. So that's pretty much it for me. I want to introduce Emily Ryan. I'll let her give her own bio. I will just say that Emily was supposed to be on a panel for us, along with Angela, who's in the audience here at our spring conference, which was meant to happen last week in Chicago, and obviously that did not happen. But Emily offered to do a webinar for us instead, so we're very happy to have her here. I am going to go away and turn things over to Emily.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Feel free, I'd love to hear where you guys are actually all coming from, so feel free to just shoot that in the chat, and we can just keep the chat, rolling as much as you want. So feel free to just ask questions, whatever you'd like. Thank you so much, NAMPT, for having me. Really, this is a very full circle moment for me, you guys. I just have to tell you, I am a digital marketer now. I specialize in MailChimp and email marketing. I've done a lot of social media marketing, but I have my degree in musical theater from the Cincinnati Conservatory of Music. I have a BFA in musical theater. And Betsy Wolf just happened to be in my class when we graduated in 2004. So this is really kind of a special moment for me because I am getting to do what I love now, and also talk about musical theater, which is my second love. So it's really exciting for me. So I am trying to figure out a way to not spend the whole 30 minutes talking about our college, our crazy college stories, which you guys might actually enjoy hearing about. We could tell you some stories, right, Betsy? We could. But no, they said, Emily, I had actually run some Facebook ads for Music Theater of Wichita, because a friend of mine from high school, I went to a performing arts school in Charlotte, North Carolina, and a friend of mine is now running Music Theater of Wichita, and she said, Emily, can you help us with our Facebook ads? Last summer I did that, and I'm going to be doing it again this summer for them because we saw just really amazing things happen. And so she kind of introduced me to NAMPT, and then I said, Betsy would be an amazing person to have because Betsy has started this organization called Broadway Evolved, which I'm sure you all know about. She's going to tell you more about it, but just has blown me away on social media, mainly Instagram, email marketing. They're doing some really cool things and really making use of these digital platforms. So when I was originally going to speak at the conference in Chicago, I was going to talk, about digital marketing in general, but now with COVID and everything, it's actually a really great time to talk about going digital. There has been, I think they said, a 20% increase week over week in web traffic because of COVID. That means people are online right now. Everyone is on their phone, sitting on their couch. People are online. They want to watch Instagram Live. They want to, scroll Facebook all day long. It is a great time to be utilizing digital marketing for your organization, for yourself. It's just the place to be. And I own a little, tell you more about what I do. I own a small agency that focuses on email marketing. Specifically, MailChimp is the platform that we use. And we help clients, mostly small businesses, but we help a lot of nonprofits and various organizations grow their bottom line through email, Facebook ads, Instagram ads we also do, and we work with websites as well. So anyway, I'm going to introduce Betsy, but first I have to tell you, I met Betsy in college. We actually did Songs for a New World in college. I was woman one. Yes, I was.
Woman
Betsy was woman two. Yes, you were.
Next festival show, Songs for a New World.
Yes, I mean that was my winning moment. What's that, Beth?
Said it's one of the best. It's one of the best shows.
It's still to this day. I mean, I grew up doing theater. It still is to this day like my number one, probably my favorite show I've sang ever. But anyway, so I'm going to introduce you to Betsy, and we're going to get going, and I'm going to talk more about why it is so important to use these different channels. And when I say digital marketing, that is a term that's really thrown around loosely, but just to make it very clear, digital marketing is when you use any sort of electronic device to market a product. So we're talking email marketing, we're talking content marketing, affiliate marketing, SEO, which is search engine optimization, search engine marketing, SEM, digital, everything online, which is my new passion. So anyway, Betsy is here. Betsy Wolf is, a Broadway star. Let's just be real. Betsy has been in. I'm going to introduce you, Betsy.
Are you going to list my
Betsy has
right now? Oh my gosh.
Yes, I had to write it down. I'm sorry. But Betsy, obviously you know Betsy from Waitress on Broadway. She was Jenna in Waitress on Broadway. Falsettos, Edwin Drew. I mean, so many shows. It's ridiculous. It is mind blowing to me. Betsy is always my college buddy that we hung out with in Cincinnati, Ohio. But she is a big Broadway star, and I'm thrilled that she's using her Broadway celebrity to really build this incredible organization. So Betsy, I would love for you guys just to tell them kind of what your organization does and what it's about.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you listing all of my credits, and to be honest, up until about 2 years ago, I very much was like, well, I am a Broadway actress, and I would say that in the past 2 years, it has become abundantly clear that we are all really multi-hyphenates. We do many different things. And 2 years ago, my business partner and I decided to start a educational program that I had always dreamed of starting, which was an equal emphasis focus on not only some of the best technical training, but more importantly, how to be successful in this crazy business and how to still function as a fully realized human going about what is truly kind of a crazy industry. And what's been so interesting is while I very much do the creative side of a lot of it, I am so lucky that my business partner functions in all different capacities as well. And she really is the expert on all kind of the digital marketing. She's the Emily to my to my kind of creative. And so what's been so fascinating is I've been following along what Emily's been doing for years, and started really seeking her out and seeking her Instagram as inspiration and her helpful classes that she does, because it really kind of did come full circle that while I might be doing Broadway shows 8 times a week, if you don't even know how to market yourself right now as a Broadway actress, you're in real big trouble. So Broadway evolved singularly started out through my Instagram. I mean, using my platform as an actress to promote and talk about what this program was the only thing that we had for a while. So it's been kind of crazy just learning about how much social media can grow a business. And it is truly 90% of our business. I mean, social media is everything. So.
Yeah. And I actually told Betsy this last night, and, you know, I have kind of a list of tips that I wanted to give, but the main thing is Betsy shows up. And I think a lot of people that specialize in social media talk about this, but you have to just show up. You have to be present unfortunately, that's the way it is now, but you have to be consistent. And I'm not talking beyond these platforms all day long, but you have to show up every week, you know, whether it's, you know, just coming up with something that you can post, you know, once a day, twice a day. But Betsy is really great at just being there, being on these platforms. There is nothing worse to me than someone that starts posting and then they disappear for like a month, or they go on vacation and they start posting away. Ooh, I'm on vacation in the tropical islands. And then they just disappear. So just Betsy in her organization has been so great about just staying present.
Well, and all that being said, I am way worse on my personal social media and that's truly because we have a team of people that help work on it. But I think it is really important. I'm learning about more and more for myself too, about consistency. And I do know that there's a direct correlation between how much you post and then how much people are going to your traffic to your website, which doesn't always, you know, correlate to direct sales. You know, for us, we've kind of a different platform, but it's an awareness and it's getting people to come and check back. So we definitely notice that when we're posting consistently and not just selling things, I think that that's really, really important. It can't always be like that grab. Really posting authentic things that you think your audience is interested in, and knowing your audience in such an intimate way to where you know what content's actually relatable, what they want to be seeing, what they need more of when they get, you know, bored of something. And you can only really understand that if you do have a consistent thing to measure that by.
And have you done that with email as well? I'm very familiar with your Instagram, and I know you're using MailChimp, but have you been able to kind of be consistent with email marketing as well?
So specifically, I would say that email, we started out definitely by doing a subscriber where it was like, be the first to know information. And while email is not our first introduction, we use Instagram, and Instagram then will get people on the email. And then what we found is that we have an educator component of our program too, where educators come from all over the world as well and come, and they have their own program during our summer intensives as well that run parallel to the students program. So the educators in particular love the emails, and we notice those get forwarded to tons of people. So the emails serve as this awesome secondary audience where our emails get shared, and you know, we can completely control what's in an email versus like a small snippet of a story where they might not get all the information. So emails are huge once they're part of your list, for sure.
And I always say with email, you guys, you own your subscriber list with email. That is your list of subscribers, people that opted in, want to subscribe. Whereas social media, you don't own that. Mark Zuckerberg owns your social media following. You own your email list. So it is really valuable. And I think Betsy hit on one point that if I want to give you one like useful piece of actionable, you know, an actionable item here, using your Instagram to grow your email list is a great idea. So, you know, whether that's creating a landing page, which you can do in 5 minutes. I talk MailChimp because I'm a MailChimp partner, so we use MailChimp a lot. But there are many programs you can create a landing page, to have, and put that link in your Instagram bio. Your Instagram bio link doesn't have to be your homepage. It can be the link so people can sign up for your email list. And then you can use Instagram, to really grow your list. And then I always recommend organizations create ads, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, with the purpose of growing your list. So creating that Instagram ad that says, click here to sign up for my email list, and it takes them to that landing page to sign up. So Betsy, I'm glad you said you're doing that, because that is such an amazing.
And not everyone has the swipe up feature too. Remember that? Like we still don't necessarily have that on ours. And so if you are able to use them all together and if you can use them, decline, sorry. Just all sorts of calls. But if you can use them all in tandem, working with each other, some people don't have the swipe up feature to get them to instantly go to the website. So email is a fantastic tool. Obviously, they just click right from their email, and all those people that don't necessarily follow you can share that as well.
Yeah, and so just to kind of shift a little bit to talk about, this specific time right now that's very strange with COVID, and what have you guys been doing that you've, a lot of our clients, they've really shifted a lot of things, whether if they were a brick and mortar store, they're now selling products online, or if they're a fitness studio, they're now doing live streams on Instagram. What kind of things have you guys tried to do during this time to, keep staying consistent and keep using these platforms?
Yeah, well, we really thought about this. My business partner and I and our team had to really think about this, because your first thought is, oh, we have this small business that we want to continue. Our programs are in the summer. And then the reality of the situation set in. And to us, what really resonates is, as much as we want to keep the business aspect of it going, we really thought about, what do people need right now? And for us, that resonated the most, seeing that people are hurting, people are scared. We don't really know exactly what's going on, in the sense that it felt weird to just keep trying to push something, And so we really stripped it away and looked at it from a place of, what do people need? And at first it was really just inspiration in the form of, a lot of these students and educators had their shows canceled and whatnot. So we came up with this idea of the Broadway Evolved Homeschool, which was just free programming for some days 15 minutes. Other days it's been an hour. And now we've done it consistently for 2 weeks. And not only does it feel right to offer something tangible for people that some people genuinely can't afford something, but it also feels right as a business model to introduce our platform that way, because that also, I think, is reflective of what we do. We're not just a training program. We're about the whole kind of experience and the whole human aspect of the experience. So it's brought great joy to me to be doing it every day. We have people now that wake up at 5:45 a.m. from Hawaii to watch. We live stream it, but then we also post it on all of our channels afterwards. And it just feels like an awesome service, but yet also a great way to keep a conversation going without having to need something from people. That being said, of course, we're all wanting to make sure our businesses continue. So I think we're finding the balance now between content that's accessible for everyone, and then also hosting longer, in-depth Zoom conferences, which is exactly what we just started doing with Broadway artists. So it's like an intimate hour long, conversation, and people can opt to pay in for something like that. So by providing both types of content, it resonates with us, as well as, I think, at the end of the day, I hope that it introduces us to new audiences as well.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, I think people are willing to actually pay for some of these things. You know, at first, I think when COVID started, you know, some of the live streams, everything was free. Like, you know, you could watch the best, you know, workout videos from the top celebrity trainers like for free. But now I'm slowly seeing people slowly starting to charge it, whether it's $15. You know, I actually paid for something that, you know, $15, and she set up a landing page and she connected it to her email list. And I'm so happy to see how people are utilizing digital marketing right now to, you know, to help get through this time. So it's really great. Awesome. Well, I also just wanted to kind of run a couple more ideas. You know, I wanted to just convey kind of what we've been doing for clients in a way that could hopefully help you guys. But specifically, when I worked with Music Theater Wichita and we really focused heavily on Facebook ads, we started a campaign before their summer season to update their subscriber list, which is something that you all should be doing. Whether you're running a theater or Betsy, your own personal list, you should be making sure your email list is you know, active subscribers that want to hear from you. We do a thing with most clients where we remove inactive subscribers that really just, you know, don't need to be there. But we worked on a big campaign with them to update their subscriber list. It was incredibly easy with MailChimp. It takes, you know, a couple hours of setup. And then now they're able to use these templates each summer to kind of send out this campaign before summer season to really have an updated, you know, it's basically an email that says update your address, update your information. And it was really a great way to improve the accuracy of the data that they had. So that's really something great that a lot of organizations can do in terms of just doing a simple email campaign. Takes an hour, you know. And another thing that I think is really important, and I'm just going to just share my screen really quick and see if I can do this like gracefully somehow. So you know, I can talk about email for hours and how important it is, but this is actually one of my clients that it's not a theatrical organization, it's a home goods retailer. Small business, you guys, this is a small business. We set up a welcome email. So a welcome email, they sign up for your list and it shoots an email to them within, you know, an hour or right away. This is the revenue, we have it connected to their store online. This is the revenue coming in from their welcome email, which I saved this because it's so staggering to me that a simple email, and I'm only doing this to show you guys the power of email, which is really mind-blowing. We also set up obviously a abandoned cart series. You know, if you leave, you know, say you're purchasing a season ticket package and you leave it in the cart, it sends out an email saying, oh, you left this in the cart. This is an ongoing series that's constantly running. Very easy to set up, you guys. Can set it up in 30 minutes. You left something in your cart, literally. And it's bringing in revenue every time it sends. So I just think that's really important to share because I want you guys to understand how incredibly powerful, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, but how powerful email really is. And I love stats, so I'm just going to give you a couple stats on this, but 246 billion emails are sent per day. So I like to just add that because it's crazy. So just don't discount that. As much as being on Instagram is very important, email is incredibly important. You know, I also have on here that 500 million daily users are on Instagram, 1.6 billion people on average log into Facebook daily. This is no small thing. And I reiterate this because we have so many people that call us and they're like, oh, like, you know, social media, how much do I need to spend on this per month? Like, I really only can spend like $300 a month on social media. This is no small thing. As Betsy knows, as many people know, like this is a place you need to be, your organization needs to really, really invest money in, you know, and it's hard. Like, you know, it's a full-time job. Obviously you can outsource to companies like myself or freelancers. There are many people out there that are willing to help, especially in this time. If you guys ever need digital marketing help, there is so much help out there to be had. And the other thing I wanted to mention, I just have some digital marketing basic tips here. And then please just, if you guys have any questions for Betsy or myself, like whatever it is, just shoot them out because it's 1:30, so we're going to have to pop off.
Yeah. I have one question. When you say like different ads and stuff, how much do you think a company should be spending of their revenue to put back into like different advertising?
Yeah, I mean, that is a very, that's probably the number one question people ask. How much? I don't know how much to spend. And there's no good information on what your budget should be. But you can talk to Facebook ad experts who recommend if you start with even $5 a day, you will see results. Most companies will see results. I mean, there are companies that have, massive, $10,000 a month ad budgets. Spend what you can. Obviously, it's social media is now like pay to play. You have to pay to really be in the game. And whether that's doing a $100 ad each month or a $500 ad, it's whatever you can do is your ad's going to be seen by more and more people. So a lot of it is about testing. So if you can start with as little as $5 a day or $150 a month, whatever it is, and see how it does. See how many people you reach, see how many people converted over to customers, see how many people reached your landing page. It's all about looking at the data to see what worked. If it seemed to work, then stay there. $5 a day is fine for a lot of people, but you may want to, invest more. I know we have a couple author clients, writers, and they sell all of their book sales or the majority of their book sales from Facebook ads. And so they have these massive Facebook ad budgets. I worked with a girl who had an $18,000 a month Facebook ad budget and sold crazy amounts of books. So that was just, it made sense. So it's really about testing and what kind of budget you have for it. Hi from Raleigh. Hello. Awesome. And then in terms of, Betsy, I just want to ask you one more question. Like in terms of Broadway Evolved, for the future, what are you guys looking ahead? What are your goals for the next couple of years?
Well, we started out our first year, we did one summer intensive. So basically our program was set up that we have a New York summer intensive, and both educators and students come from literally all over the world to come and do this 1 week experience and training program. And it was so much bigger than even I thought it was going to be, and profoundly impacted myself and the other artists and many of the Broadway faculty that came. They were, you don't want to like just toot your own horn, but like I was really proud that they said some of these, Tony Award winners that came to teach for us said this was one of the most satisfying experiences I've done educationally. You guys are doing this right. And that it gave me the inspiration to keep going. So then the next year we did 2. And then we also introduced a college prep program. And then we started different cities. We started going to cities to make it more accessible to the students. Not everyone can come to New York. So it was important for us to lower a price point and bring a mini version to them. And that way they could see if they wanted to be a part of the program then in New York. And this year we have 3. And part of the reason why we're growing is because we keep the numbers really small, because part of why we know this program, why it works is by keeping it small and intimate. And so that's what we're doing. We're always looking for new ways to connect with students and educators. I think, we have a lot of plans, a lot of ideas in the tank, that we don't want to just stop doing because, things are unknown and uncertain right now. But I would say that things that we have thought were going to be successful, some things weren't. So it's interesting, like when you talk about like Facebook ads and you talk about the girl who spends $18,000 a month, I'm just here to reiterate that if there is something that, you find isn't translating to your audience, rather than push it, we've learned to like, okay, how can we, then what are the actual needs? So for us, it's going to be evaluating like what, when are kids going back to school? Like what's going to happen? So, we're growing it, and we're still very excited about late summer, but also being flexible in making sure that whatever happens, we're still going to have something that we can do. So
I love that. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up with a couple I just came up with these in my head, so just go with it, okay? These are a couple questions for you, and they're going to be digital marketing social questions. So number one, who are your favorite Instagram Broadway performers to follow, or name one or two that you love following?
Love following Laura Benanti.
Ooh,
she does a
like
great
that.
Yeah, she does a great mix of real life. She's very good about real life as well as important social posts. Yeah, she's one of my faves.
Number two, what's coming up for Betsy? What's coming up for you?
Well, I'm having a baby.
She's having a baby, y'all.
I'm like 6 weeks out. Yeah. So I'm having a child. All my things were canceled too. There a couple things have been postponed, which is good, as opposed to just flat out canceled. But I've had a mix of things as well. So just like everyone, I'm, navigating and trying to stay flexible as well. So yeah.
It's been so interesting following. I follow so many Broadway people and friends, and just seeing what they're going through right now, and it's really unbelievable.
Yeah, we're in the business of being around other people. So you can't do that right now. Yeah.
Tough. And then lastly, if you could give other organizations or social media, what would be kind of your biggest piece of advice?
Hire a digital marketing expert like Emily Jones. Not a joke.
No, not me.
Here's the thing. I do certain things, but don't think that I don't have a cheat sheet that my business partner kindly sent over and was like, can't wait to hear the answers to these questions. Have a team of people. I think you don't know what you don't know. And as much as it's been a learning curve for me, it really helps to have other eyes on things. I know that something that's been really helpful is we think we have an amazing idea, or I think I have an amazing idea. And, there's always having someone to bounce it off of too, because it is really, really helpful. So I think, having someone like you or having someone else on your team that can just help look at things with a different eye is really, actually really important.
Yeah. And it's so easy to do now. I mean, I got a message, I think yesterday, from someone that said, I'd love to just, I'm out of work right now. I'd love to intern. I'd love to, love to help. There's so many people willing to help right now. And so, yeah, don't be scared to just get help for stuff that you're not comfortable with. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. I can't thank NAMPS enough for letting me do this. This is just really exciting for me. I'm so glad I wasn't asked to sing on this, because I lost. You should hear this one. I lost that mix years ago. Anyway, so thank you guys. I don't think there are any major questions here. But if anyone has questions, I am going to share. So Betsy Wolfe is on Twitter at bwolfe, WOLFE pack.
That's Instagram. That's Instagram.
And she at Broadway Evolved on Instagram. And then I am Emily Ryan Likes, like Emily Ryan likes your photo. Emily Ryan Likes on Instagram. So that's where you can find us anytime. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Anyone have any questions before we sign off? I don't want to run away if people do still have those. Pause for a minute.
We were just so informative that no one has any questions, right? That's what we'll just take away. I will tell you, this is not a shy group in person, and I find on webinars, and this is true
pre-pandemic and post-pandemic that they tend to not ask a ton of questions. We do have one. Someone typed something. Oh, love the entire conversation. Thank you, Cynthia Rose. That is not a question, but thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, something about the webinar
Perfect.
format. Either they're extra informative or people get shy. I don't know which it is.
Totally.
Great.
What's the company? The company.
Oh, the company. You want to know? I'll tell you what really came in handy was these old step and
For
repeat.
COVID.
The old step and repeat
Broadway evolved.
have become my little headquarters. Yes, it's Broadway evolved for students and educators. So.
And my company is actually called Westfield Creative. Westfield is the street I grew up on. And so it's called Westfield Creative. It's westfield-creative.com. And we specialize in MailChimp and websites.
We have a question from Isaac Mayhew. How frequently should theaters be posting on various platforms during the virus?
Yeah, it's very tough. And there are so many actually great resources right now of how brands should address this and how brands should talk over social. I think it's okay to keep posting as normal as long as you're mindful of what's going on. I still think, posting daily is a good idea. I mean, people are, like I said, it's a great time to be utilizing these platforms. Like, people are home, they're reading stuff, they're brushing up on new skills, they want to read, they now feel like they have extra time. Like, I don't know what it is, but people feel like they have extra time right now. So I think it is okay as long as you're being useful, you're providing value to people, and you're not just out there trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah, the authenticity I think is huge.
Yeah, this is just anecdotal, but it happened like minutes before we started this webinar that I got an email from Delta that was actually super useful. It was telling me that my credit was going to expire like a full year after I thought it was going to expire, which is both good customer service and good information for me to have. And I almost deleted it without reading it because I've gotten so many emails from Delta that were like, we care about you in the pandemic. And so like, I would say like that was a good email that followed like 4 bad emails. And because of that,
yeah.
I almost missed it, and it was actually really important. So, don't be like
yeah.
Delta.
As someone in email marketing, I cannot tell you the amount of COVID emails. Like that first week, every client of ours wanted to send a COVID email, and that was a very interesting.
Yeah, well, in the first week I get it, but now that we're in like the 4th week, I'm like, I don't care what you're doing, Delta. I don't have a flight coming up.
Yeah, I have a feeling people are really going to remember the kind of communication that happened this time and place like a value on a company.
Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to unsubscribe, which is gonna then in the future hurt them, right? That if they're starting to piss me off, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, one thing we've done with several clients is really tone down the frequency. So, with one client, we were sending emails, just almost every day, and we've come down to like 2 or 3 emails a week for that client. So maybe just toning down just a little bit, but still keeping, yourself out there.
Cool. All right, some more questions coming in from Tracy. If it is not during this kind of unprecedented situation, how often do you recommend posting on social media? Still daily or less? So Tracy, you mean normal circumstances?
Oh, normally.
I think is what this question means.
On social media. Yeah, and I think it depends on your audience. I always say that. It depends on kind of what you do. I am always a big fan of posting, something once a day. I don't think it hurts. You don't need to post on Saturdays. But I also think you need to look at the data. There are many programs like Buffer is one of my favorites. You can use to schedule your posts and then really look and see what's happening. Are people looking at your posts on Tuesdays? Are they looking Wednesdays? With the way, especially Instagram, with the way the algorithm is now, you don't need to post every day. You can post every other day because that post is going to last for a day or two in the feed. So I think it's more about just being consistent. You need to do more than once a week, I would say, to make an impact. But don't feel like you have to be on there, all the time.
From Paige, is there any content in particular you recommend creating / posting at this time?
Let's see, where is that?
Oh, sorry, it's in the Q&A, but I just dismissed it. For
Oh,
any
can
for
you
for
say that
for
again?
pandemic, is there any content? Let me get it back.
Oh, and Buffer.
Is
Buffer
there
is
any
the
content in
program I
particular? Oh,
like.
sorry. Buffer is the program that you like, person. Is there any
And
content in
MailChimp, you can schedule posts as well.
Yeah, I think in all constant contact demo, all that stuff you can schedule out. Is there any content in particular you recommend creating / posting at this time?
Yeah, I mean, that's really tricky because I would want to know kind of what your organization's goals are and what you're trying to do. I think, you know, what Betsy is doing is a great thing. They're continuing to post content. She's putting out useful. I think now is a great time to just anything you're putting out, just make it useful. You know, Betsy's doing these great interviews. I think you're interviewing Christina Altamar. Is that her name?
Yeah, we're doing like in-depth conversations that are hopefully representational of things that we do as a business and as a program. We're doing miniature versions of those now in hopes that not only does it provide a service, but it's also something tangible that they can say, oh, this is what this program is about. This is what they're like. And in the future, when this ceases, and I know it will, you know, they will know what it is. It's translating that to the point of when they actually come.
Yeah. And you know, don't get nervous using stuff from the past. You know, bring back some old productions into your feed and highlight some old videos and say, oh, we missed this time when we were doing this show and blah blah blah. You know, I always recommend really taking a look back and bring, you know, just repurposing old content as much as you can. And for me personally, in my own personal Instagram, like I just always try to say, okay, I have 3 things. Is it fun? Is it inspiring? Or is it useful? And like, I just want everything I post to like be one of those. You know, is it fun to people? Can they laugh? Can it inspire someone? Or is it something they can actually use? And if it doesn't really fit those 3 things, I'm like, oh, why, you know, I don't really need to post this. So that, you know, I kind of have those 3 goals in my head.
Your Instagram is genius for that very reason. It's either visually the most stunning thing to look at, or it's incredibly useful. And I send it to many people and I'm like, oh my gosh, this.
Oh.
So, but it's
well, I also stopped caring a lot. I think I stopped caring a lot of what other people would think. And I think that's been huge. Like you, as a business organization, you have to care. You have to be very mindful of your customers. But personally, I had to say, you know what? I really love this photo. It speaks to me. I love it. And so when I started just really posting things that like make me happy, then I started, you know, really seeing people say, oh my God, I love that. And just stopped caring. Like, are people going to think I'm, you know, crazy, or, you know, just stop worrying.
From Danny at North Carolina Theater, we've had to reschedule the remainder of our current season and 2021 season, but we've announced those new dates and the response has been great. People are excited to have something to look forward to, so give people things to look forward to.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. Focusing on the positive. I love that.
And Isaac says, thank you. Are there certain platforms or media types that have been especially successful lately? I think you kind of just covered that. Anything else you want to throw in there?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think as we're online, I think it's important to really think about ads, you know, ads for Instagram and Facebook, because people are on there a lot right now. Obviously, people are looking at your website, and you know, SEO to me is always important. Search engine, making sure your website's optimized. There are so many people that specialize in doing that. You know, making sure your website is fast is like, it seems like such a small thing, but like if people can't get to your website and it load fast, they're going to just pop off real quick. And obviously just, you know, social media in general. And I specialize in email, so I'm going to always say email first and foremost.
I have a question from Sarah asked, what's the name of the scheduler you mentioned? You use Buffer, you said, for social?
I do. I mean, there's so many now.
Does Buffer do things besides Twitter?
Yeah, you can schedule Instagram posts in Buffer. You can also do that in MailChimp now. You can do so many things in MailChimp that people don't realize. But Hootsuite, a lot of our clients use Hootsuite to schedule posts. There's CoSchedule. There's so many programs that allow you to schedule out. I mean, one thing I love about social media marketing, you can schedule posts for like the next 2 months and then be done with your work. As long as a crisis doesn't happen, and then you have to go in
the caution
and
with that. Yeah.
revise everything. Yeah. So you have to be really careful.
Yeah, we use TweetDeck at NAMT, but that's only for Twitter.
For Twitter, yeah.
And we do happy openings, and we did them a month out, and we had to make sure to unschedule them all when this all started. So, that's the caution behind scheduling.
Yeah. Definitely check out Buffer. It's just so easy it's very easy to use, very easy. And then you can do Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter all together, and then it kind of adjusts for each platform, because obviously a tweet is going to be different than a Facebook post. So it kind of adjusts it for you, which is nice.
I'm making a note, because we at NAMT are really bad at using our Facebook and Instagram, actually. So I'm going to put that on my list. Okay, cool. Anyone else? Questions, comments? Looks like we might be done.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for sticking around here.
Thank you all. This was recorded. It takes a little bit of time to process, so we'll try to get that up by the end of the day. If not, Monday morning. Hey, it's Friday. Time has lost all meaning in the pandemic, but it is
happy
Friday.
Hour.
Have great weekend, everybody. It's always happy hour, though. That's the one upside. But have wonderful weekend, everybody. And we'll have this up on the NAMP website. Let's just say by Monday morning. If maybe at the end of today, though, maybe we'll surprise ourselves. Thanks, everybody, and thank you so much, Emily and Betsy. Hope to see you in person soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Betsy.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.